Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. So we've done things a little bit back to front today. I've done the picking out already, but I'm going to insert them obviously like normal, where we'll read out how many times I use things and if it was a good shop my stash or not. Let's go through it. I think I might put the foundations away. No, I only picked 2 foundations out yesterday, so it's not the foundation. So first of all, let's talk about the primers. I pulled this The Ordinary one in, which was new when I used it. I feel like I've used half of it already, so I want to put it back. So it's The Ordinary High Adherent Silicone Primer, and as well as blurring, it really hydrates you. Now I've used it both ways, where I've used it all over the face as a full primer, and I've used it just on the T-zone for like blurring my pores. It does a good job in both ways, so it just depends on how quick you want to go through it, whether you're comfortable using it all over the face every day. If that's the case, you're going to go through it quick. But it isn't an expensive primer, guys, so yeah, there is that. How many times does it say I've used it? 10 times. Right, so then we have the Primark one, which is just at the side of me here, so I can show it to you. It wasn't to be used 10 times or anything. I've just used it in lives mainly. So it's the PS Prep and Perfect Primer, Vitamin Enriched Moisturising Primer, a clear dupe for the Bobbi Brown one, and I've hit pan on this, so that's that one there. So I just leave this to the side of me. I'm trying to work on it to get it out, so it kind of is in a project, but I just use it as and when. I had a look again in Primark, they still don't have it, so that's quite sad for me. Then we had 2 foundations in. Well, we had a foundation and a BB cream. So the collection, which is here, Collection Lasting Perfection Weightless Foundation, I used 7 times. So that can go back in the collection. And then the Misha one I used 8 times. So it's the Misha BB cream, that's in Project Pan. I'm not going to show you that because I showed it in the previous Shop My Stash. If you want to see what I was using in the previous Shop My Stash, I'll leave it in the info cards so you can go and check that out, because I'm not showing eyeshadow palettes either, just purely because I do reviews on them and it's kind of reiterating myself. So we'll be doing a review mid-April on what my thoughts are on those eyeshadow palettes I pulled out for the Shop My Stash. So the bronzer, the Chanel one, I'm finally done with it, guys. This can go in empties. There we go. And I am relieved. So that's that. One of the other bronzers I was using is, let's get it out. I put it in a different palette now. I've switched it up because, like I said, I shot my stash first. But that's it there. It's the Tanya Bear bronzer, and it's a glowy bronzer. It's really, really pretty. So what I felt like was, how much more progress can I get through in another 2 weeks? And I just feel like I don't want to be done with it or anything. That's impossible, but I would love to see a bit more pan on that. I've kept it in this custom made palette I've got. So basically I switched more or less everything out. So I had this palette last time, if you remember, this Z palette, but I put, from the palette I've got now, I put this blush in, this purple one, because it's more of an autumnal blush. This bronzer has gone in it as well, and then this white blusher has gone in it. So I won't be using that again probably till, well, I don't know when, but not for a while. And I brought this Bleach London out with new products in it. So we've got the Tanya Bear blush, which is kind of a dupe for the NARS Orgasm. We've got the Tanya Bear bronzer. We've got this little Benefit blush here, which looks like I'm really, really close to pan. Can see the waffle print. We've got Rocker Chair. We've got 2 type blushes here that I can mix my brush in. We've got this highlighter and this Deck of Scarlet blush, and I'm actually wearing that today. So that's those. This palette as well, I'm keeping it in because I use the powder every single day. I've not written how many times I've used it, but I use it every single day. and I wear makeup probably about 6 days out of the 7. Sometimes only 5. Sometimes only 5, but yeah, I wear makeup a lot just to review these products for you guys. So that's all the bronzers. Illuminators, oh yeah, it's here. I only use this I think twice. Yeah, twice. So it's the Rimmel Insta Strobing Highlighter in the shade Gold Glow. Quite nice, but it can go back. Powders, so we've got the Rimmel. I used that 4 times according to this. So this is in the shade 003 Peach Glow. And I've definitely hit more pan. It's a really good powder, really, really inexpensive. So that can go back. The Hourglass one. This is more a finishing powder. It's not really to be used in the same way. It's kind of last steps of your makeup. And it's the Hourglass Veil. And literally guys, there's not much left. So I'm just keeping it until I'm done. I wish I could show you. Can I take that sticker off? No, not really. There's probably about that much left, so I'm keeping that in. I'm also keeping this in. I've not been using it, but I'm going to try and use this more, and I'm going to wait until I finish the Hourglass Veil and use this. I mean, it was in a project pan and I did ever so well with it, so I'm going to continue using that. The the glowish powder I really enjoyed using. I put some of this under my eye and I thought it's going to make it really glowy. It didn't. So that's it. I can see a little dent forming here, so if I probably used it for another rotation, I'd probably be seeing not necessarily pan, but definitely a dent. That can go back. Blusher, so I used NARS Orgasm 1 time, so I'm going to try and use these more. I mean, I've definitely hit more pan on it, but I want to use it more than I have been. So that's that. So that's staying in. The Tarte Duo, so let's show you. It was in this palette, wasn't it? So these 2 blushes here look really nice together, these 2. So when I use this palette, I use those 2 together, just mix my brush in them, and I use those twice. The Small Benefit one, this one I used 5 times. I really like that shade. The Primark Pink one, I used 1 time. It's just as a blush topper. The Hourglass blush, is that in here? Yeah. The Hourglass little mini I've got. It's in the shade Luminous Flush. I used that twice. This looks like that. That can go back. And I think, oh no, the Benefit one, I think it's called California, I used once. I think that was yesterday. Flower Pinch I used over the top of it, so that one I used once. And then we're on to highlighters. So Becca in the shade Moonstone I used 3 times, getting quite a little dent there in the middle. So the Ofra one's from the Madison Miller collaboration. It's in the shade Moon Dance. I said they were both called Moonstone last Shop My Stash. They're not. Moonstone and Moon Dance, it's similar, so I got myself confused. So this one I used twice, and then we had the Poundland one I used twice. That one's in the shade Pearl. So did we use them at least 10 times in total? Let's have a look. 3, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 10 times in total for all those highlighters. I've got a feeling I would have used them more, I've just not written them down. Lipsticks, I don't think all the lipsticks are in here, but I'll talk you through what I have put in here. Actually, I'll talk you through these eyeshadows, these liquid eyeshadows. Right, so I haven't used these this time, but this one, it seems like it's evaporating because I know I haven't used half of this. This one is in the shade Savage. It's one of Lottie London's. It's so pretty. They're going to be drying up. Let's do some swatches. Oh my gosh, I need to be using this. I need to do a tutorial, I think, with that one for sure. Then we've got Yellowtails from Stila. Again, that one seems to be evaporating to nothing. Definitely feels like it's on its way out. I mean, I can use this as inner corner highlight, so I don't know why I don't use it. Oh, that's that one there. And I feel like Mint Myth is completely dried up. Let's have a look. Because I pulled the stopper out and it's turned into powder. I mean, I can definitely use it as like a powdered eyeshadow topper. Look, I'll show you. Look, I pulled the stopper out of it. There's not that much there. I can see to the bottom, and you can see on my hand here that it's very powdery. W7 do dupes to this, so next time I need something like that I'll go to W7, but I do want to use them up if I can because they ain't cheap. So that's those that I want to use up. This, I did a look with this shade. These are meant to be blushes, but I use them as kind of eyeshadow bases. So this is the blush and it's in the shade Minted, made by Mitchell, and what I did is I used the Denesamarics palette on top of it and it looked absolutely beautiful. I did that for a live. The lives in future are going to be every second Monday. I did a live on Monday, so I won't be doing another one till now, a week on Monday, and they're going to be multi-chrome Monday lives, unless like I have a job interview or something like that and I can't go. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing multi-chrome Monday lives because that saves me a whole time of editing. Right, so let me talk about lipsticks. So we have got some of them. I Heart Revolution Gingerbread. It's absolutely beautiful packaging. I used this one twice. And look at the shade of that, it's beautiful. So I used that one twice. Then we had the I Heart Revolution Cranberry. I think I only used that once. Yeah, just one time for that. Smashbox Inspiration. It's not here, it's in my jacket. I've used it 3 times. It's that pink raspberry shade that I've used in some of my videos. MAC Lady Danger, that's in my handbag. I used that twice. Mrs. Kisses, I can show you that. So that must be in my handbag as well. So Mrs. Kisses, Mrs. Glam, and I used that in a live. It was my St. Patrick's Day live, so if you want to check that out, it's on there for you to see. But yeah, I used that there. Revolution Game of Thrones. So this is the Revolution Game of Thrones in the shade Cersei Lannister. Use that once. The Wet n Wild in Stoplight Red. Oh, Lady Danger's here. Lady Danger. Wet n Wild in Stoplight Red is in the drawer. I used that once. Jaclyn Hill No Rules, I used that once. And NYX Bedtime Flare, I used that once as well. So I'm using different lipsticks at the moment. I've actually got NYX Kitten Heels. I'll just show you. I've actually got this shade on at the moment. It's the NYX Liquid Suede in the shade Kitten Heels. I've got the bullet form of this, but they don't look the same. I feel like this one's better. So yeah, I used that today. With a Primark lip liner. And then we're moving on to eyeshadow palettes. I'll tell you the usage on them, but I'm obviously not going to show them or I'm not going to review them. So the Colourpop Snow White palette, I used it twice, once for a live and once for yesterday, for when I went into town to meet my niece. The Flower Beauty Desert Lights I used 6 times. Yeah, 6 times. Jason Wu Agave palette I used 5 times. The Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette I used 5 times. The Huda Emerald Obsessions palette I used once. The Huda Caramel Brown I used 3 times. The Essence Bronze palette I used once. And the Denesamarics palette I used once. So now let's go and pick out the makeup for this upcoming Shop My Stash. Thank you for watching, guys. Right guys, so now that we've spoke about everything, we're going to go into my base drawer. Let me see what you can see. I'll just take these out. I think I'd learned to be a bit more organised. Yeah, you can see the full drawer and it's a nice sunny day. So hopefully you can see what I'm going to pull. Right, so I said last rotation I'm going to focus now because it's getting warmer, although it doesn't feel it in the UK, but it is. It's not -1 anymore, it's more like 12-13 degrees. Or it was today actually, and a couple of days prior, but it has been raining really nasty. And I'm going to focus on skin tints. So what do I want to bring in? I think I've used a Fenty recently. You know, I don't feel like I've used that recently. You can't see everything now. Anyway, it's the Essence Hydro Hero 24-hour tinted cream. It's real pretty. I feel like I was gonna go with the Profusion one, but now I feel like going with the Makeup Gallery one. Not used it in ages, and it's in a really light shade. I think it's in Swan. So let's just pull these two out, and I've got my Misha one as well. What the hell has just happened? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to put this in a pot. The top has literally got stuck there. Hang on a minute. Have I? No, I thought it might have been one of those twisty ones. Right, so I can't use that. Let's go in with the Profusion one. I think this one is slightly darker. It's really nice. It's the Feel Good Skin. See, that one's alright. Yeah, it is slightly darker. I might need, with this, I'm not going to pull it now, but I might need something like this. I need to get another one of these because that is probably the lightest foundation I've got. And although this is a foundation, it's more of a BB cream, so I'm going to put it in with my lighter coverage foundations. I'm just going to pull these two. Like I said, I've got the Misha one. Oh my gosh, this, when I run out of it, I'm going to need to buy a new one because this is, it just looks beautiful on the skin. Along with that collection one, I had such amazing skin days for those 2 weeks. So the glowy product I want to pull, let's see what we've got that I've not used in a while. I was drawn to that, wasn't I, last time? The L'Oreal True Match. I don't know. Yeah, let's just pull it. This one is more on the pink side, leaning pink side, but it looks really nice under a foundation. So that's those two. You know, part of me feels like pulling this. I don't feel like it's going bad. I just feel like there's not going to be much more life in it. Let's put the Profusion one back. I'm really not happy about this. I mean, I can get a new one for £3. There's literally 3/4 of it left. So now I'm going to have to get a pot to put it in because I don't want to kind of waste it all. I mean, I have got one. I've got this one. So where is it? Here. So basically when I use all this up, I'm not going to put that W7 primer in it. I've nearly finished it, so I'll make sure I use this as my glowy primer for this rotation. I'm stressed out. Right, so for a brightening concealer, you know what, I've not used this Becca one in ages. So I'm going to bring this out. I think there's quite a lot left. Yeah, there is. I've finished my Maybelline one up, as you would have seen. So let's fetch that out. Concealer. As you know, I don't have a lot. I mean, I've got 2 of these, you know, because I love that concealer. And it's really hard to get. Once they sell out, basically. I've used the Skin Loving Sensitive recently. This one, I think, is expiring. No, it's not. We'll try it. It looked like it's expiring, and I'm sure in last time Shop My Stash I said it was. But it's by the Body Collection, and this one's the lighter shade as well. I think it's Fair. Yes, it is. Powders. I've not used this in ages. Lisa kindly gifted this for my birthday in February of 2022, and I've not used it in ages, so maybe I don't need a loose powder though. I'm trying to work on the Hourglass finishing powder, so let's pull a pressed. What's this e.l.f. one like? Maybe, yeah, let's pull this. Let's pull this Laura Geller one. I have had that for a hot minute. So it's the Balance and Brighten foundation. I don't use it as a foundation, I use it as a powder. Look how light it is. It's got a bit of a dent in it already. But yeah, we'll work on that some more. And is that all the base products? Oh yeah, I said I didn't want any primers, didn't I? Oh, I need this one, sorry. I'm putting the other pore filling one back. I need my Dior. That's the only bougie product I've pulled out so far. And I am so tempted. No, I won't do it. I was so tempted to pull this Revolution Glass Skin Primer out. I won't do it purely because I pulled a Radiant Primer out and I don't feel like I need it. But maybe next time. Right, so what I want to do now before I go over to my bigger eyeshadow palette collection, I've done something new. I've done a bit of reorganisation that I want to share with you. I was thinking about doing it on camera, but then I thought, no, I'll be quicker just doing it by myself, and I didn't know if you wanted to watch it anyway. So let's go over and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so these bookends, I only bought them yesterday and it was really cheap from Ryman's, £7.50 for two. So I just thought, yeah, I'm just going to get them. Ideally I would have liked white, but because it's a white unit I feel like it goes. Of course, let me know your comments. I just feel like this looks nice. It looks a bit cluttered, I'm not going to say otherwise, it looks cluttered, but that's me and my makeup collection. It's very cluttered, so it looks better than them being in the drawers, and it's good to have some out on display. I think over time I'm just gonna get rid of things like this one here, this Matrix one. I bought one for myself and one for Naomi, and honestly I do not like it at all, and I don't even think my niece will like it because it's green, and she tells me all the time, I don't do green. But yeah, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like greens. I don't like purples. What possessed me, Naomi, to think that I could get away with this palette? Should have just bought one for you. But I'm like, no, I want a Matrix palette as well. I just like trying things out, and then once I've tried them out, I'm kind of over it. Anyway, so that's those. Then of course we've got my £9 Colourpop palettes up there. This hasn't changed, they've been like that for a while. I love them on display, and you will see that in videos. So Tinkerbell, and there's some green palettes behind it. I think the child is behind it as well. Obviously the Elsa Frozen palette is there, and some others behind that. I think there's 3 on each side. I don't want to weigh it down too much because obviously I don't want it to fall. I do want to use this Cosmic Brushes The Muse palette, but I don't need to pull it in. I don't know how many times I'm going to use it, but I'm definitely going to use it for Saturday's live, because a few people have said that they'd like to see me create a look with it. So for sure I'll be doing that then. Let's just put that on top. I'll sort that out later. So yeah, for sure I'll be doing that then. But I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be with all my other palettes, because if I pull that I won't get many more in the tray. So we'll just leave it there. It's off to the side where I know it is and where I can just grab it at any time. So yeah, this is just what I'm working with at the moment. We're going to go over to the rest of my collection, and we're going to pick out some eyeshadow palettes that I want to use for the upcoming rotation. There's going to be a few chopping block items, just because I'm trying to get it in my mind whether I need them in my collection, and obviously if I don't, then they're just gonna go, guys. It's coming really soon. We're probably looking at May, June now. Initially I wanted to do it around March, April time, but I don't want to just declutter things for the sake of decluttering things. If I do that, I'll miss them. So let me take you over that. Right, so what I really want to do out of here is use the last Pat McGrath Labs palette, the one Amy kindly gifted to me. It's the one that's got a blue in it. and initially when I saw it I was scared because I don't wear blue eyeshadows, as you know, and it's quite dark and smoky. It's quite a dark and smoky palette. So this one is the Celestial Divinity. So I want to use this. Amy has asked me to do a ranking video for my Pat McGrath palettes. I won't be getting anything for a while, so I thought why not. So pull that. So I feel like I'm going to pull 2 palettes that I want to use, and then maybe 3 palettes that I don't necessarily choose to use, kind of things on the chopping block like I've just said. So anyway, let's go and get my other one that I want to use. I don't know what it is, but ever since I used the Huda Caramel Brown, I've been loving orange toned eyeshadows on me, so I want to use this, and I can't wait to use the Huda Beauty, not the Huda Beauty, I can't wait to use the Natasha Denona pastel palette. I just don't feel like it's the right time yet. It's still cold. Yeah, I feel like these warm tones are still called for. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Now, let me just get in. This tone here and this tone here, they're similar to what's in the Huda Beauty palette. In fact, I could have done like a look using this on one eye and using the Huda Beauty Caramel Brown on the other eye, and I bet you any money they would have looked the same. I might still do that, not obviously now, but maybe later on in the year I might do it. So again, that's that. I'm holding the camera. Let me put it on the tripod. Right, I'm just seeing these Morphe palettes on top here, and I know there was one, like this mauve toned one. You see? Yeah, no, that's the Party Pinks. It was this one. And this one is the Vintage Rose. Andy Does Stuff used it a while ago, and I'm like, those looks are so pretty. I need to bring mine out very, very soon. It's so dark over here. But anyway, yeah, that's that one. So I've got 2 small palettes now. Now this one, I've said, no, it's not even that one. Is it in this drawer? I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything else from this drawer that I need to be pulling. Don't think so down there. Let me check in here. No, must be in the second drawer down. Oh, this one's heavy. Right, it's this one. Right, so this one is Kelly Gucci's favourite, or one of her favourite Profusion palettes when I last checked. I don't need to keep it for the grains, let's put that out there. Don't need to keep it for that. I remember doing a look and loving this purple, so I might just use it for that look, and maybe let me just, to save me doing looks with it, let me just see. See, I don't like that now. Looking at it, I remember doing a look with it though and really liking it. What's the yellow like? Right, I think this is gonna get decluttered, guys. Yeah. Right, I'm not even gonna go there with this palette. I mean, this one, Majesty's quite pretty. I feel like I don't need it. And if I don't need it, what should be happening with it? Decluttering. This one is so pretty, and it kind of gets you into that spring memento. Pull that, it's not on the chopping block. Doing one more. You can definitely get 3 looks out of the Morphe. You can definitely get 3 looks out of the Natasha Denona. I need to pull a palette that just has basic mattes in it. I've got one that I've made up, and I've also got the Jason Wu, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. But we're going to pull this. Sorry it's dark, guys. It's sun shining. You'll get to see them more when I'm close to the window near the vanity again. I don't think any of these. You know, I don't think I'm going to be able to declutter a lot. I really don't. Oh. Now I'm thinking, where are all my palettes? That's ridiculous. You're seeing how many I've got and I'm thinking, where are all my palettes? But a lot of them I'm thinking, well, I'm going to declutter you. I thought about the Socialite then, I'll show you, by W7. I thought about that, but sorry, I'm just trying to get it in frame. But it's a lot like the Morphe one, and I haven't used the Morphe one, so I need to test that. Just wondering about this Steeler one. I mean, I did really like this when I used it. The only shade I didn't really like is that blue. And they've got the whole like mauve tones in them, so I don't want to kind of go down that route. Then we've got the Smoked, which I've used. You know, just looking at this now, I could quite easily declutter this palette. And when I bought it, I absolutely loved it. The only shade the only two shades are these orange and yellow shades. I bet you I could depot them. I don't know though. I don't know if I want to declutter it. And this is giving me Blah vibes as well. I bet you I could quite happily declutter that. This one's brand new. Oh my gosh, I'm really inclined to use it. We're going into spring. I mean, it's got shades like Blooming, Best Buds. Let's use it, and that'll do then. And I also feel, guys, like I'm just gonna get a shot of that as well. I'm gonna give that to my mum. She'll love it. These are totally her tones. What's the point in having it in my collection, right, if I'm not using it when she could get so much use out of it? No, I'll leave the Lethal Cosmetics. You know, I've only used this once. I've only used it once and I'm going off it. Why do we do this to ourselves? Love this Morphe and Jaclyn Hill one though. Wow, it's so pretty. But it's more autumnal. I missed my window there, I think, with it. Right, so I really want to see if I really like this. I mean, two days, I don't use these grey shades because I don't like them. But these, like this shade here, I used to absolutely love. It's as pigmented as it ever has been. Well, maybe. Let's put that in as well, and then we're done for palettes. Because I just want to know what I can get rid of, and I think I can get rid of this MAC. You know, this is only really fit for MAC eyeshadows. When I put my eyeshadows in, they fall out. So I think I'm going to get rid of that when I do my declutter. Because it's big, it's bulky, it's taking up room. Right, that's a bit better. That's looking better, isn't it? And I'm going to show you the third drawer down, but there's barely anything in there. Sorry guys, I just realised that you didn't really see what was in the drawer. So this is the second drawer down. This I cannot wait to use. Naomi sent me the palette and Lisa sent me the singles inside, and I swatched them again last night, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to do the Multichrome Mondays. So those three shades will last like 3 Multichrome Mondays, but over 6 weeks. So that's cool, because I don't have any more multichromes after I've used this Danessa Myrix, and I don't think there's too many more eyeshadow looks I can be doing with this palette. Let's have a look. Right, so I think at the moment it's just Sol that I haven't used. I would like to try Strawberry Moon over a pastel. The next Multichrome Monday I do, it's going to be alive. From now on, my multi-chrome Mondays are going to be lives. It's so much easier. I'll use Sol, and I'll go in with Polaris as well. That's the cream I was talking about in my last live. It's just such a beautiful palette. I'm really happy to have it. And if you like these types of shades, I mean, you've got 3 completely neutral shades in this palette. So if you're wanting something special for your eyelids, you can come into this palette. I mean, it's expensive, isn't it? But it's worth the money, I think. And I'm definitely thinking about maybe getting more from the brand in future. She does these like eye foil things for the eye. They're like kind of, not liquid eyeshadows, but it's almost like a primer that you put on before this, but they're also multi-chromes, and I think they're about £18 on Beauty Bay, so I'm thinking about getting one of those just to wear next time. Well, not next time I use it, but when I use it again in the future. So yeah, we'll be using that, and then the fortnight after we'll go to the Glamonatrix singles, which I cannot wait for. I told you I really didn't have much in this last drawer, and I don't want a lot going in this last drawer going forward. So obviously we've got my bigger palettes here. We've got my Glamlight Chocolate Martini. I don't want to get rid of the packaging. If I could get rid of the packaging, it would make this drawer practically empty. And then we've got the, what is it? It's the cake, the Glamlight cake palette there that Karen got me, and then the Glamlight Ice Cream Dream palette, but that's empty at the moment because I've been using it, so that's that one. And then here we've got this beautiful Cara Duo palette. It's the Cleo Queen. Lisa got me that for my birthday a couple of years ago now. Really like it. It's really nice for this time of year with the yellows, leaning bronzes in there. So yeah, it's really pretty. If you like those tones, I would highly recommend it. I have actually got a video on this, pretty much on all what I'm talking about now, because I like to kind of review them. I call it watch before you buy, so I buy so you don't have to, kind of thing. And I like to do reviews like that for you guys. Right, then I've got my book. I've not written anything in this book yet, but what I thought about doing that like when I was at my vanity just before, because I basically let you know now how many times I've used an eyeshadow palette. I thought I'd write down all the eyeshadow palettes I've used up to now, because I did start this in January, and then in December I'll rank them all. I mean, last year and the year before and previous years, I don't know what I've used, so I couldn't have done it then. But if I write them down, then I'll know what I've used, so I'll be able to rank them. And then these palettes here, so far, are what I've used. So we've got the Shrek Revolution. I used that in a live. We've got the Desert Lights. That's just gone up last night. So we've got the Huda Beauty Caramel Brown. We've got the Essence Bronze This Way. I used that in a live, I think, as well. We've got this Colourpop Snow White palette. Well, it's not, but it's my version of it. I am going to change it up because I just think the top row is too light with all those cream shades. So I want to put some kind of lighter transition shades in. So I'm going to switch it up when I get time to do that, but I'm going to leave it as it is because I want to talk about it in the ranking. But this is my version of it, and that blue and that yellow together in that live, oh my gosh, the picture is on my Instagram. I'm obsessed with that look, and I'd recreate it again. Oh, and I used it yesterday as well when I went to town with my niece. I used that light pinky shade there next to the yellow, and then I used the darker plum shade, and it just looked really pretty. Katie, my niece, said, so I was asked what was on my eyes and what eyeshadow I had on, and I said, oh, it's shifty eyeshadow, and she went, what's that? That was my niece. And then I've not used all the eyeshadows in this palette because I want to save them for summertime, but I've used a lot. It's such a beautiful palette. I used that lemon shade there and I absolutely adored the look. I did a look with the mint green and the blue there also, and then more of a bronzy look, and it's just such a pretty palette. If you like pastels leaning nudes, I'll just leave that like that a minute. If you like these kind of tones, I would highly recommend this. Okay, really I need to know what blush palette I'm going to pull, because I'm doing a self-made one. I'm just looking at cream blushes now. I need to know what I'm using in that palette. Let me go down to it. Right, it's going to be this one. That bronzer from the other palette I was talking about earlier, I'm going to put in here. So I think I'm going to just exchange them. I don't think I'm going to use everything in here. I might try this red actually, just see if I like it once and for all. I can definitely mix those two shades. I can use Rocket Chair, and I can use those two blushes there. So yeah, let's pull this. Right, so now then, it's only like cream blushes. I feel like I want to use this one by Revolution. It's their Hydra Bright, and I always forget to tell you the name, so I'll tell you now. I think it's peach. Yeah, it does say peach on there, but the camera's not going to pick that up, I don't think. So we'll pull that as well. Do I want any more creams? I'm not going to pull any more like powder blushes. Shall I just pull a unique shade? I mean, I feel like I'm getting a lot in this palette. I don't need to pull any more. But in regards to liquids, is there any that I'm thinking of decluttering? Yeah, there's this one. I've only wore it once, and it's quite a spring. I'm sure it's part of Essence's spring collection last year. It's called Everlasting Blooms, and it's a lip and cheek tint. Look how bright it is. So let's pull that one, and let's pull one more for good measure. I don't want to be stuck with products I don't like for 2 weeks. That's my issue. I want to use this Milani one again that Karen got for me. I don't know if I'm going to use it a lot in 2023, and if I don't use it a lot, then maybe I should pass it on to somebody else. Maybe my niece would use it more. I mean, it's beautiful, but yeah, I've not used it that many times, not since she bought it for me. And maybe just pull one more for good measure. I keep saying for good measure, don't I? These I've had for a while. I like it though. I was just going to say, that's the MUA Looks. They don't even sell it anymore. I feel like I like it. Let's pull one of those sticks. I've got two and they're very, very similar. So we've got this highlighter stick by Natural Collection. This one is so similar. But then it's similar to the one that I pulled out from Revolution. But I just need to know. I mean, the one from Revolution's a liquid form anyway, so it's not going to apply to the cheeks the same. I just need to know if I want to keep both of these in the collection. I mean, I've tested this before and I decided to. I don't know what I want to do, guys. That's the issue. Are these just all empty boxes? Come on, Andrea, you don't need all these empty boxes. What's that? This is the Mangoes one, which I don't think I've ever used. I may have used it once. Why don't we pull this one out? I'm going to keep this box because it's like limited edition. So we'll keep the box for the Mangoes. Part of me is looking at these as well. These are from the Alice in Wonderland collection, but I know that even if I don't like them, I won't get rid of them just because it's Disney. They're great for spring and summer though, aren't they? So that was the lip, the matte, and that's the cheek. So that's that one. And then this one is more peach. Oh, I didn't tell you the name of it, did I? So that one's Mad Hatter. Yeah, I love Mad Hatter, so that one is going nowhere anyway. Oh, right, so this one's Mad Hatter as well. Oh, this one's Mad Hatter Tongue. and this one's just Mad Hatter face. I don't get it. Oh, that's pretty. Shall we try and play with this a little bit more? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do, let's put it the other way around so you can see it. I'm going to do the Disney colour. So, there's loads. There's like 5 cream blushes here. I'm going to put the Made by Mitchell one back because I haven't pulled an orange tone powder blush. So that one can go back and we'll do that next time. And if I don't like that, like it can be used for eyeshadow. I've done that with a few of my other ones. So I won't necessarily declutter it into the bin or pass it on. I'm going to go highlighter now. I'll pull you down a bit. Right, let's have a good old root in my highlighter. You know, I've not had good use out of this at all. Shall I pull it? Yeah, we'll pull that. Don't know where I'm going to put it. I want to get use out of this one and this one. I normally mix them. And again, if I don't like that, I can pass it on. It's big, it's bulky. But because I'm not too sure how they're going to go, I want to pull at least 1 or 2 singles as well. I don't know what that's doing in there. That needs to go back because I want to use it up. So, yeah, I've done quite well on that. That's actually on my channel at the moment. Things that I've hit pan on. Don't want to pull another palette if it can be helped. Is it that one I wanted? Yeah, it was this one. Let's go in with Stola Shaw. And then I feel like I want one more. These in this section, I've used them recently, so I don't even know why I'm looking. Right, I haven't used this one recently. I want to use this one. Everyone used to rave about it. Sophie, who her channel used to be Soph Does Live, she's paler than me and she loved that. So it's like I want to keep giving it this second chance because she's a big influencer and she loves it, so it must be good, right? Well, no, wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a good highlighter just because she likes it. And this is no offence to Sophie. I think she's amazing. You know, I'm just saying, you know, it's not like makeup's not like a one size fits all. So yeah, and then let's pull this one in, get a bit more use on the pink side. So let me show you. This side is where I've hit so much pan, and then that's it. I don't think I'm going to pull any bronzers in, not even cream bronzers. Yeah, not even cream bronzers, because I really want to get more of a dent on. Let's just pull the elf in. We can work with both. I was just going to say, I really want to get more of a dent on the Tanya Burr one that I had in. Yeah, let's just pull the elf one in. It's in tan lines, and you can see that there's quite the dip there. I think we just need to put everything away. Right, so now we can start putting things away. Let's start with eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to keep that in, guys, just because I use this one so much. It's going to be, in a month or so, it'll probably be all done. Right, so I'm going to show you them again quickly, just while we're at the vanity. So that's that one. Isn't that pretty? Let's push it back a bit. So that one is the Garden of Juvias. Can't wait for that. I was gonna pull it like more in the spring months, but we'll use it now. And do I really want to use this one as well? Because this one's got... I feel like this is too much like the Natasha Denona one. Do you know, like with the bronze shades in? Let's put that back. Don't need it. Right, so then we've got the Balm Appetit. Like I said, it's only going to be 2 looks with this one. So that row. Yeah, that row and then that row. We've got the Morphe Vintage Rose. Still looking dark over here. Let's put this light on a touch. So we've got that. Right, we've got the Pat McGrath Lab Celestial Divinity. I'm sure you've all seen it, but I will show it to you. It's a thing of beauty. So that's it there. So there's no mattes in this. I mean, that colour can be really, really deceiving because it doesn't look as shimmery as these, but I think that's more a satin. So that can go there. And with that palette, I think I want to use these Makeup Geek ones. If that doesn't work, got this Jason Wu Agave palette that Lucy's Unboxing Life sent to me. So I'm going to just put that to the side. I'll put them both to the side because I don't really have room for the palettes. I know what I'm doing with them, that's the main thing. And then the last palette is the Natasha Denona Bronze. And if I can, obviously, if I can actually get finished with these palettes quicker than the 2-week period, I'll do another Shop My Stash. But I'm planning on doing at least 3 looks with this palette. Yeah, you can see it better now there. Probably just do 1 look with you guys and then 2 off camera and just showing you the looks, because I've got this palette on my channel, and the ones that I've got on my channel, you don't need to see me recreate the same old looks because I'll be drawn to the same shades. Like these 2 shades at the top, kind of a more outer V shades for me. I could quite happily get by without those 2 shades. The rest of the palette's beautiful. Right, so in total there we've got 5 palettes. I think I've already said that. Let's move the packaging and let's start on where I'm going to place the foundations. Well, we've got 1 foundation and 1 BB cream. So again, the Essence Hydro Hero and the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I'm leaving the Misha one in. Hydro Hero's not... It's like there's no room for me. Oops. Damn it. Bracelet's just got stuck in the drawer. Should really take this off for when I do Shop My Stashes. And then I've lost my drawer handles. Oh, one's there. I think I just need to replace these drawer handles now, guys, because they're just not staying on. I mean, I have had this vanity 8 years though. I'll leave it like that. I think for this Essence Hydro Hero, I'm just going to place in a drawer. We'll just go here, so we'll just do that. I just need to be mindful of it. And then we'll put the concealer there as well. Powder's going to have to go there as well. That top drawer is really, really cluttered. The primer normally goes on top. Concealer again goes there. That can go there. Right, so let's get my face products. Right, what we need to do first is switch this palette up the way I want it. Need to bring the other palette over. I think I'm only changing one thing now, to be fair, so I can get more use out of it. Let's switch it down a bit. Yeah, it's just so I can get more use out of it. Right, what are we looking like in the bleach palette? So I definitely want those 2 in. Can you see what I'm doing? Definitely want those 2 in. I've not used Rockature in ages. We'll keep that in. The purple's throwing me off. It's more kind of a winter type situation. Let's take that out. Right, I definitely want this red in because I don't know how I feel about it. We've got a shimmery tie one. That can stay in. And I think oh yeah, we can take this Deck of Scarlet bronzer out as well. Put this Tanya Burr one in. Put Tanya Burr one in. There should be enough for something else. Put this Benefit one in as well, and then we'll leave it there. They're really, really similar anyway, but I do want to get more use out of that as well. Shall I pull this highlighter in? Let's take this one out, this tight one out. Let's move this over and let's pull that Primark highlighter in. So I know I pulled quite a few highlighters, but I might need that. I know I like it. I might need it. So let's just put these in this box. if it'll even fit. Right, so that's what it's looking like. This one's going back. Do this every so often when I want to switch them up a bit. Switch them up to what I feel like I'm going to use the most. But yeah, this one's looking quite nice. So that one can go in this drawer. This needs to be taken out. It can go like that. Right, so I've kept this Inglot and Mora Higgins blusher in from last rotation. I don't know how I feel about it still, guys, so I'm going to keep that in. Then we've got loads of cream blushes here. So we've got the Essence one. At this point normally I would do swatches, but I'm pushed for time. We've got the Disney colour one in the shade Mad Hatter Face. I'm not going to pull lipsticks again, guys, because I really enjoyed having no limitations last time and I just pulled the lipsticks as and when. So I've got this Revolution dupe for the Pinkgasm by Charlotte Tilbury. It's in the shade Peach. So I've got that. The Milani 120 Coral Crush Cheek Kiss, or Cheek Kiss Coral Crush. And then I think there's a few bits and pieces over here. Sure, I pulled some highlighters in now. Oh yeah, they're there. So we've got the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I'll use that with the Tanya Bear bronzer. We've got the Colourpop Super Shock in the shade Stole the Show. It looks like it's got a bit of a pink flip. We've got the Pixie by Petra in Delicate Dew. And we've got the MAC Soft and Gentle, which I didn't pull for this Shop My Stash, but definitely I'll use it more. I'm going to put this Hourglass Veil on top of this palette. I'm down to the dregs of it now, guys, so I want to finish that off hopefully by the end of the next rotation. I think what I'm also going to do is put this Pro HD by Revolution on top of the blush palette, and then it's not going to fit, is it? Let's do some manoeuvring. It doesn't have to be tidy. I'm not bothered about it being tidy. I'm bothered about it all fitting. Okay. Yeah, that is actually tidy. Let's put the Mora Higgins one down there. Yeah, that's cool, isn't it? Right, so okay, that's that. Oh, primer needs to go on top of the unit. I need to show you a couple of new things I bought as well yesterday. Oh, come on. I seriously don't have a lot of room, and it's ridiculous because this unit is so big. Right, so what I got yesterday, whilst I was in town picking up those bookends from Ryman's, is I needed a new setting spray. So I picked up the Studio London one. Studio is pretty big and it does say by Superdrug. They must have bought it out, I'm sure they did, because I mean, Studio London is no way new by any stretch of the imagination. You used to be able to get it from Bodycare, but now it's saying by Superdrug, so it's their own brand, and it says, the way you pronounce it I guess is called You Do You, but it's actually spelled You Do You. Setting mist, lightweight dewy fix. Now I don't know about that. I tried it yesterday but I'd had my makeup on for hours. I didn't notice it being glowy. It says keep your look fresh all day with Studio London You Do You setting mist, formulated with niacinamide for a luminous and dewy glow that lasts. And that's why I wanted it. It's got niacinamide in it, which is good for the skin, but it's glowy. And I was going to get the Revolution one, the Revolution Glow I think it's called. People are raving about it. Sarah Rose raves about it and says it's just like the... let me get my words out. She says it's just like the Charlotte Tilbury one. So I got that and my lips were so dry. I had to get a lip gloss, and this was the kind of cheapest one that they had. So this one's by Technique and it's the Gold Elixir lip gloss, and can you see how it's got like gold reflex in it? and it's got hyaluronic acid in it, so that's the only lip product that's going to stay here. I'm going to give you an overview though, guys. I have got other blushes out as well, like that I want to kind of do more with, like this one for instance, and this Nose Orgasm. Like, if I get fed up of the blushes that are in, I'll just take to this and use this a bit more. I'd like to use it at least twice in the 2 weeks that I do my makeup, if I can, really. There's this in as well, which I haven't showed you. This is the Essence Hydro Hero Under Eye Stick, and it's so good, guys. Yeah, I definitely want to get a backup of that. And then what's behind it? Oh, it's just a cream matte eyeshadow that I'm trying to pan. Now that I've finished my Too Faced Chocolate Bar one, if a palette doesn't have that shade in, that's what I reach for. And I think we're done. Let me just do an overview so you can see everything together. Okay, so this is the top. I don't know why I've left that there. I've actually finished that product now, so all that should be on there is that collection loose powder. I'll leave it there for now. We've got my pastel liners that I always keep in this little packaging. All my palettes, Pat McGrath, Morphe, The Balm, Natasha Denona and Juvia's Place. We've got my pastel mascara back there. These are kind of project pan here that I'm using, or should be using daily, but obviously the NARS is the blush, and I don't want to stop using my blushes, you know, and my highlighters that are in my collection. I want to get use out of everything, and that's why I started doing the project 10 uses. And it's going really, really well. Some kind of Shop My Stashes go better than others. So we've got the Misha Perfect BB cream there. At the back of that we've got the L'Oreal foundation, and then in the drawer I put the other foundation that I pulled, well, BB cream. Then I've got my primer here, a setting spray, my lip gloss. There's some more setting sprays, brushes. This has never been this full. It's getting to the point like I need to put my brow stuff elsewhere, and I could put it in the third drawer down, but the whole purpose of doing that, of kind of emptying that drawer, is that I wouldn't need to do that. I'm just going to have it like this, a hodgepodge of mess. And then this drawer is not looking too bad. It's got a lot of things in it, but it is for 2 weeks, guys. I'm going to be mainly sticking to that palette there for blush, highlighter and bronzers. Obviously I've pulled the cream blush and bronzers to work alongside it, and then we've got the highlighters, and this is what it looks like. This is the whole Shop My Stash. Thank you for bearing with me. Please like, it really does help get my small channel out there. Comment, and if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to join our little fam, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.